You ever had a bad day and come home and talk with your spouse about it? Well, that happened in our household today. And my wife, God bless her soul, had a rough day. And so we did like any couple should do. We sat down and we talked about it. And I wanted to share with you what we read and we talked about. And, someone talked very ill about her. And not just to her, but to people she worked with. Uh, and of course, being human, upset her. And so we've read verses in the Bible and we talked about it. And we just wanted to share that with you. And, Jesus taught us in Matthew 5, verse 39, and also Luke 6:29, that we need to turn the other cheek. And even Peter asked about how much do we forgive someone? Do we forgive our brother 7 times? And Jesus said, no, 70 times 7. And so we go on, we were talking about this situation and we went on to read in 1 Peter 3, chapter 9, and it says, for 1 Peter chapter 3, starting in verse 9, not paying back evil for evil or insult for insult, but on the contrary, giving a blessing, since you were called for this, so that you may inherit a blessing. And that's tied to what Paul was teaching us in Romans chapter 12 and verse 19. But it also backs up a little bit starting in verse 17, where it says, do not pay anyone evil for evil. Give careful thought to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Friends, do not avenge for yourselves. Instead, leave room for God's wrath, because it is written, vengeance belongs to me, I will repay, says the Lord. And my wife has been a saint when it's come to this, because she's kept her cool, kept a calm head, and address the person and that person's concerns, and turn the other cheek, and went on about her day when it was over with, but of course was, shaken up about it. And one of the things I told her, and I'll tell you, is, we can't please everyone, and we've heard that a lot our lives. You can't please everyone all the time. If Jesus couldn't please everybody, and he's the most perfect man to ever walk this earth, what hope do we have? If God the Father, who created this wonderful earth and all the things we have, can't please everybody, what chance do we have? So I think she found some solace in that. We sat down and we prayed, and we turned it over to the will of God to take this away from her, because we are human and we let things like that bother us. And so I hope and pray that if you have things that are bothering you, that you'll go through and you'll read Matthew 5:39, Luke 6:29, Matthew 18:21 to 22, and then go back and read 1 Peter 3:9 and Romans 12:19, and you can find some solace in that you are doing everything that you were supposed to do, and give it over to God, and God will take care of those people that persecute you when you are doing everything holy and righteous. God bless. Keep the faith.